Hello, I'm Spaztastic. Welcome to SpaztasticTV. Now, I'm going to show you a video of me when I was trying to do my Spaztastic's Half-Assed Ghost Town adventures. However, due to weather, I never really got to finish it. So, this is by no means a complete video, but instead of wasting some of your time, sitting here and seeing me in the studio, which apparently a lot of people find is really boring, let's just get on with it. I'm not exactly sure what mine this is. I'll probably just put that in text on the bottom of the screen if you can even hear me. But yeah, this is an open pit mine shaft. Kind of like this little graded box that they put on here. If I was wearing a little bit better boots, I'd be freaking, I'd walk on that and show it to you if you can even hear me. However, actually, somebody's been setting it down. Yeah, set it right there. This is the actual ore they've been pulling out of here. It's this very, a lot of zinc, a lot of freaking, a lot of zinc, silver, some gold, copper, all that fun stuff. But yeah, just ore just laying on the ground. Who would have thought? Anyhow, into this next little bit, there's no real context into me jumping from one location to the other one, so I was filming over at what I believe is the drum mine, so I just figured I'd just show you a little bit of that, and hopefully you can actually hear me over the wind noise. As I said, the wind was blowing really hard. Otherwise, I would have filmed some B-roll of me driving up to it, and my camera kept blowing over on its tripod, and then the wind died down, and so I talked for a minute, if you can understand what I'm saying. I like this idea. This is a good idea, because then they don't have to blast the entrances. And potentially take down a mountain. Because anyhow, I have no idea how to start doing something like this, especially when the wind's blowing, and it's going to be blowing the entire time I'm out here. So get used to it, unless I decide to, just figure out how to film B-roll. I'm standing in front of an actual open pit of a mine shaft, which I'm going to pop the camera off the tripod and I'm going to show you in that one. I'm not exactly sure what mine shaft it is or what mine this is. I mean, it could be part of the freaking horn mine, I think is what it's called. I could probably do a little bit more research and actually, come out and do this properly. But anyhow, let's jump cut to looking down a gigantic hole in the goddamn planet, shall we? All right, now this probably isn't recommended because if your foot falls through, you could break your leg or crush your nuts and never have kids, or wear the wrong style of shoes. But anyhow, I do remember coming out here as a kid, and this wasn't even like gated off or anything. I mean, it isn't. You can drive right up to it. But I remember there used to be like a big old shack that was probably built over this thing, and it had since been like, it was all littered and shit. I mean, if you didn't see it and you didn't know it was here and you came flying up around that corner, you might drive right in the damn hole. But let's see if we can get this on audio with the fucking wind and everything. Well, it's still falling. You can't hear this, but it is really, there it hit the bottom. I released that or I can't hear it anymore. But yeah, it's still going down. Huh. Well then, I don't feel safe standing here right now because there is a potential this part of the earth could collapse and I could go with it. I guess the death would be swift and probably painful. Alright, other than there's an airplane flying over, if you got good audio, you could probably hear that. This road that goes up here, it goes up and around and it kind of drives right up the mountain, and I don't really think there's anything up there. I don't intend on going up there because, well, I drive a vehicle with 200,000 miles on it, and I'm already 200 miles away from home. But when I came out here when I was a kid, this had to have been when, well, my vehicle was brand new. My father had walked up there, and I'll just jump to a picture of a spike that he found. Just thought I'd throw that little bit of information out there. Anyhow, you think it's a beautiful day, but for being nearly the end of September, it's pretty damn toasty out here. But, could you imagine if I had decided to come out here in the spring and all of this would have been all nice and green. It wouldn't even look like I was in Utah. And also, another thing I want to point out is if you're coming out in an area like this, is part of the reason why I do this. You're not going to be able to get up these roads in a little car. I mean, my Durango's not the ideal freaking off-roader, considering it sits pretty low to the ground because it's the all-wheel drive model. So if you're ever planning on coming out to an area like this, I mean, go rent a pickup truck or an SUV or something, because you're going to beat the shit out of that in your car. I mean, and trust me, I tried to drive up to where this mine shaft is, the one that's, well, up there, with my little piece of shit purple Eclipse, which, coincidentally, freaking actually has a picture that works for it. And this right here is what I'm talking about. I don't think it comes through too good on the camera, but once the nose dips on the car, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. As you can see, I'm trying to hold the camera steady and drive at the same time. Probably not the smartest of ideas, but, at least it's easier to hold my fucking phone, because, everybody knows that they're pretty goddamn slippery. Anyhow, into the next little clip, the next little bit that I did was in a place called Newhouse. It's a ghost town. It's on the other side of the San Francisco range, where a guy by the name of Samuel Newhouse founded the town. I think I was calling him Alfred Newhouse or something like that. And when I said it was only a couple of years that the mine lasted, it actually lasted about a decade, and that was pretty much the only information I could get out there. And a little fun fact is that there was a little cafe out in the area that had ran for a little while, but hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. And hello, I'm Spaztastic. Welcome to SpaztasticTV. This is going to be the first ghost town I'm going to look at. I mean, there's really nothing to show here other than like some foundations, and I'll play you out with a bank vault. At least that's what I think it is. I mean, never no reason to have a 2-foot thick concrete building. But anyhow, I'm in Newhouse, Utah, and if you can actually see in the background, there's an actual tailings pile up there. I believe that's the cactus mine. If not, over there, looks to be a gypsum mine, but that seems to be a more recent thing. But anyhow, the cactus mine had been mined for like several years. I mean, I don't have the exact details on the years, so I'll probably just put them in text in the bottom of the screen. So I think the guy's name was Alfred Newhouse. He was a entrepreneur from Salt Lake City, Mormon, obviously. So when he came down, he kind of transformed Newhouse into a company town. And I asked for the locations of certain things. I mean, obviously this is a house, but and wind noise if you like that. Obviously, he was the only one that was able to turn a profit, but only that was only for like a couple of years. And that's pretty much the story. Was that it was a company town. I mean, they had a couple things like everything was cactus themed because, well, cactus mine, you had the cactus club, cactus dance hall, there was no tavern, there was no alcohol allowed because Mormons are funny underwear people with horns. I mean, like I got one growing right here if you can see it, but I'll have that filed off before the end of this. But anyhow, it's just really not that interesting over here. So I think I'm gonna go grab me a bite to eat. Hope there's not too much wind noise in here, otherwise I'm gonna probably want to kill myself. So yeah, that's Newhouse. This is still more than most people would do with a travel video, so we'll go with that. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, this was actually a lot of effort for not that much reward, if you can tell by the video's kind of short length. I actually had a lot more crap planned out, but in the wonderful world of filming things, I mean, it's not just YouTube, it's just filming things. It usually takes like an hour, 2 hours to come up with a minute of content. So, I mean, I'm learning quite a few things. I'm learning a different video editor that I don't really like very much. I'm going to probably try a different one in the future, probably on my next video, actually. But anyhow, if you've seen anything you liked, if you had any tips or tricks that you wanted to go ahead and throw down in the comment section, if you want to say fat ass or some dumb shit like that, you can go ahead and do it. But anyhow, I'm Spaztastic. Thank you for watching.